Welcome to Inner Glow Sessions. I'm Angie Hawkins, the Inner Glow Coach. I help women transform from chasing love and approval to radiating it from within so they can finally feel happy, free, and loved for who they are. I work with women who've read the books, gone to therapy, tried affirmations, attended the healing circles, but their nervous system still screams at the thought of disappointing someone. And I'm not criticizing those modalities. The reason why they tend to fall short is because, for example, books have a ton of information, but they don't really have a lot of practical advice on how to implement it into your own specific circumstances. Or some spiritual modalities, they feel good in the moment, but again, they don't really leave you with any actionable steps to actually implement it in your day-to-day life. And I used to be this person and I felt like something was wrong with me. So if this is you, I just want to let you know you are not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. Your light has been dimmed. So my whole goal with the Inner Glow sessions is helping you understand to how to turn your light back on. Because my whole philosophy is based on shining from the inside. And what that means is we're all born with this light inside of us. I mean, you see kids, they're running around, they're screaming, their clothes don't match, their clothes are dirty. Like they will say anything, which is why they're so funny sometimes. But they don't care what anybody thinks. But as you move along life, you have family systems, you have society systems, you have all of these things outside of you, especially now with social media, like criticizing you. You should do this, you shouldn't do that. So we slowly conform to please things outside of us, and that starts to dim our light. So the whole concept of shining from the inside is there's nothing wrong with you that needs to be fixed or changed. It's just, although you may have some behaviors that need to be changed, and we will talk about that in a second, but you're not changing who you are as a person. You're actually coming back to who you are as a person. And that is where my signature glow method comes in, because GLOW is an acronym. It's GLOW. Obviously, most of us know how to spell. And G stands for go back to your childhood, because most of our behavioral adaptations started in our childhood. Because again, we're born with this light, but then slowly school or friends or family start dimming that light. And it usually comes from our parents or our primary caregivers, because we learn pretty quickly because we're smart. Some things make our parents happy, some things make our parents mad at us. So we slowly conform to what our parents want or whatever our family system rules are, and we don't really question it, like if that's making us happy or if that's who we are as a person. So the first step, G, going back to your childhood, it's actually going back to the root of the problem. Because if you don't do that as your initial step, any action you try to take is just a band-aid to mask the pain. So for instance, a lot of spiritual practices, and again, I'm not criticizing spiritual practices. I love yoga, sound baths, full moon circles. I love all of that stuff, but it's can be used as a great supplement to doing the inner work. But in terms of actually going deep and figuring out the root of the problem, I personally don't feel that those things are the solutions. And you can agree with me on that or not. But the first step is G, going back to your childhood and addressing the root of the problem. L stands for light yourself up, because, reprogramming your behaviors and rekindling your light is a process, but there are so many quick wins that you can get early on, because just by reconnecting to that childlike, playful energy. So everyone can go back to when they were little kids and remember the things. Actually, some people can't remember because they're so disconnected from themselves, but that doesn't mean you're a lost cause. It just means you need to remember. But most people can remember, like, oh, when I was little, I loved to paint, I loved to do this, and it really lit them up. And my personal experience with this, when I was little, even all through high school, I loved to write. That brought me so much joy. I even won a contest in fifth grade. It was called the Young Authors Contest. Everyone in the school wrote a book, and my book won out of the entire elementary school. I loved writing. And then in college, I studied finance, and I didn't write for like 20 years. And then as an adult, I took a sketch comedy writing class at the Second City, Chicago, and it lit me up so hard because it was, rekindling my glow like that I had as a child. So there's so many quick wins you can get with lighting yourself up and doing at least one thing a day that brings you joy. And then O stands for overcoming external validation, because we live in a world, especially with social media, where we tend to just like chase that hit of external validation. And it's exhausting because you're always on this roller coaster of other people's opinions and what other people think you should do, and searching for the answers outside of ourselves. But when you are grounded in your own confidence, your own intuition, your own respect, then your foundation is so strong that nothing outside of you can shake you. And that, first of all, I used to totally give my power away to everything outside of me, and to create that stable foundation changed my entire life, because my nervous system used to be a complete wreck because it was always on these ups and downs of these hits and everything from, this roller coaster of external validation. But when you validate yourself, then you're at peace no matter what's going on around you. And that's not to say I never feel anxious, I never feel sad, I never feel angry, but I spend most of my time in a space of happiness and fulfillment. And beyond that, I've also learned how to feel two things at once. So you can feel happy and fulfilled and anxious, happy and fulfilled and sad. So having that strong stability is everything. And then lastly, the W stands for welcome back home, because once you step into this space where you're shining from the inside, you have basically come back full circle to that light that you were born with, and you no longer have to chase or perform for love and approval outside of yourself. And if you do get external validation, or if there is, because we all want love and approval, but the truth is you don't need it from anything outside of yourself. It's just the cherry on top, so to speak. So that is who I am, and that is the glow method. In future episodes, we will be going into what it feels like when you're in this energy of always seeking external validation, what you can do to slowly make the shifts in your behaviors to get into the energy of building a strong foundation. And then I'm also going to be talking to other women who are going through struggles and probably going through some of the same stuff you are. And I'm also going to get more into my own personal story. So stay tuned. I'm so excited for the Inner Glow sessions. I have so much to share. See you next week.